Hello, it's Mrs. J. Today we're going to take a look at shape sheet number 1 and shape number 1. There we go. So we'll take a look at this one and we'll see that the grid spacing is 0.5 inch, so a ½ inch for each block. The grid spacing is on the bottom right there, the key, and we'll count. So I'm just going to make this L shape, extrude it back, and then cut this out and cut that out. Simple approach. There's many other ways to do it, but I'll start that way. It looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks this way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. Okay, so let's shrink that. We're going to use Autodesk Inventor, and you want to make sure that you've made a project file just for this. Keep your project files separate. In order to do that, you can go up to Projects, follow the prompts to make a new project, and then just save it. I called mine shape sheet number 1. And then just make sure you're in it. Make sure it's checked, nothing else is checked. If it gives you an error message that you can't create it because things are open, look down here. You might have something that says Part 1 that you haven't done anything for. Just close them all out, and you can make a project file. Okay, so for this one, we're going to use Part. I'm going to click on Part right here. I could also do it from up here, New. It pops up this menu, and I want a standard IPT, Create. Okay, we're going to go up to the top left, start a new sketch, and we're going to work on the XY plane. I'm going to hover right there, take a look at it, left click, puts it right in front of us, and let's see if I can get rid of this tool in my way. Okay, I'm going to use the pan tool. Over on the right side, it looks like a little hand. It is F2 on your function keyboard. You press function F2 on your keyboard, and it lets you move your drawing space without interacting with your object, which is great. It doesn't accidentally put a line or a rectangle. Hit escape to get out of it on your keyboard, top left. And we're going to use a simple line tool for this one. So line tool, hit the origin. It turns green when you've made it there. I'm going to go to the right, and we said it was 8 blocks, right? So that's a ½ inch for each block. So that means divide it in half, it's 4 inches long. So I'm going to hit enter. Now I'm just going to roll my mouse button so that it zooms for me. I'm going to hit the pan button. The line tool stays interactive until you do something else. And then see, I hit escape from my pan tool and I came back up. I didn't pay attention to this one, but I think it was 2 boxes up. So I'm going to put in 1, enter, and I'm just going to go back and check that. So right here, yeah, 2 blocks this way, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks this way, and 3 up. Okay, so 5 would be 2.5, and then 3 up, 3 times 0.5 is 1.5. I'm going to scroll out and get my pan tool again. Let me hit escape and get out of there. Okay. So line tool all around. If you made a mistake on any of your lines, you can either undo, let me hit escape, undo, use the arrows on the top left, or the easy way is to double click on the number. Make sure you hit escape on your keyboard, double click, and then you could just change whatever measurement you need. Okay, so now we're just going to close this off. I'm going to use a line tool. Make sure I actually hit the top of that line perfectly so you see the color change. That's important or it won't extrude. I'm going to come over this way. And I know I could just click on that origin line, but I'm going to type in 1.5 and enter so that it stays. That did not work. Let's see. 1.5, enter. There it goes. Sometimes it doesn't do what it wants to do. Looks like it's all closed. You have the letter L, but that line right there is the origin line, not part of your object. So you have to come down and close it. You have to make sure you see that color change when you hit the origin. If it's not closed, it will not extrude. Okay, and I just clicked it. No need to measure it. Hit escape. So 1.5, 1.5, 2.5, 1, and 4. This one we don't need to know the measurement of, but if you click the dimension tool, you'll see that it's 2.5 tall. I'm going to hit escape. No need to force that dimension. Okay, so now we're going to extrude. Before you extrude, I know you can click on that model and extrude it. It's not the proper way to model. You can lose your integrity and you won't be able to 3D print. So finish your sketch, top right corner, green check mark. close that up. It's going to go into isometric view, and we can just get that a little smaller. I'm going to hit the house button, see if that makes it better. Yeah, if you hit that little house that pops up when you get close, goes away when you go away, it puts it right in front of you. That's nice to work with. Okay, I'm going to hit extrude top left, and I'm going to go back this way. Just going to drag it backwards, or you can click flipped right here, and let's see how far back it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So that's cut it in half. 2.5 inches, 2.5. I did it on this menu here, the little marking menu that pops up, but you could also do it here, distance A. It's the same thing. Hit OK. Okay, looking good. Now we're just going to cut the top and cut down here. So top left, start a new sketch. Click on the top of your object. Do not click the lines. Click the face of it. It will rotate it, and that's a little confusing, but once you've done it enough, it's okay. I'm going to use a rectangle tool. I'm not going to measure. Just going to click the rectangle tool. I'm going to really make sure that I'm on this line. When you get close, it changes color for a second, and then it stops. I'm going to left click it, and I'm going to come across diagonally. See that color change that popped up for a second? I can't do it twice. Click it again. Make sure you're exactly on those lines. If you're not sure, try it again. You just undo, rectangle tool, watch the color change, come across. Do not worry about your dimensions. Hit escape when you're done there. It's yelling at me to save my object, because if it crashes right now, I would lose this. It's all good. Okay, so I know I want to cross, and I'm just going to put the spacing in between, and it looked like it was 1 box on either side, so that's all I need to do. I'm going to get dimension tool. I have to touch in 2 places, so the space at the top, the space at the top of the new object, and right in between it should be 0.5 because it's 1 box. Same thing on the bottom, dimension tool, touch the bottom of the rectangle, the bottom of the object, put it right in between, 0.5. Now I know it's going to fit just fine. So I'm going to finish my sketch. And now I want to extrude. It's always going to give you more material, so I'm going to come over here to the output and put cut, and then go back to the object and see how much. Oh, it's only 1. I always thought it was more. Okay, so 0.5 is what I should type in here. 0.5, there you go. 0.5, cut, and then it's going down. So you can either drag that down or use the flipped button, however you wish to do it. One more right here. We're going to go top left, start sketch, right on the face of the object. It's going to rotate. Let me get it closer in front of you. And I'm just going to use a regular rectangle tool. I'm not going to be concerned with dimensions. I am going to make sure that I'm on this line. If you miss it by a tiny bit, it doesn't cut right. I'm going to drag diagonally down to the bottom left there, and just anywhere left click. So I didn't worry about dimensions yet. Now let's dimension the whole thing from here to here, here to here, how long we want it to be, and then we should be good. Okay, so it looks like it's 2 boxes from left, 2 boxes from right, so it's 1 inch on either side. It's 3 boxes here, so that's 1.5. Easy peasy. Dimension tool. We're going to click the top of the object, and I'm left clicking when I click, right? So left on your mouse. So if you're holding your mouse, you're left clicking. Find the camera, left clicking. I left click on the top. I left clicked on the top of the rectangle, and we said it was, no, 1, not 0.5, 1. Same thing here, bottom of the rectangle, bottom of the object, 1 inch. So you click the 2 places, and you're telling it the space in between. That means that this will have the right dimensions. I don't need to dimension it. I'm left clicking it just to check. It says 0.5. I don't want to force it, so I'm going to hit escape. I do need to make sure that this is the right length. So I'm going to use dimension tool. I'm going to left click this one more time. See what it says 1.581. Yours could be whatever. We're going to make it 1.5. And that lines up everything. Okay, so we should be good. Finish the sketch. And I don't think I forgot anything. Extrude. And this is where you'll find out if you actually clicked the edge of your object or if you went a little tiny bit over. That did not work. Let me try that again. Grab that arrow and go down this way or hit cut. It changes for you. And just make it longer than your object. Make sure that it's pink and sort of see-through. If it's like join, you'll see that it's thick and it's new material. But that's not what we want. So cut, and okay. Okay, there you go. I'm going to hit the house. All right, to add color, come up here in the top center, look for the adjust button, left click, away from your object. Now let me move this over. Go away from your object with this eyedropper. Left click and drag to the right all the way across. Make sure you're off the object when you do this. They give you an eyedropper because if you have existing color, you could touch that with the eyedropper and it would pick it up and you could put it on another object or another face. Now you have a paint can, meaning I'm going to paint the whole thing, and then just pick a color and hit OK. You could color them individually, have fun, and make sure you save. So when you're saving, you want to make sure that you're doing File, Save As, and you're actually saving it as the part you need it to be. So I'm going to call this Shape 1. Try not to use the number or hashtag, the number symbol. It does mess with your files at some point. I used it on one, it was okay, but sometimes it doesn't. Shape 1, and I'm going to put my name because I've done this a couple times. I want to make sure I save it. Okay. And then save. Thanks for watching.